Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Jackson Jr. versus Jackson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Jackson, you say that 41 years ago, you were falsely accused of fathering a little girl, and that accusation has ruined your life, cost you tens of thousands of dollars, steady employment, and your health. Today, you are here to prove the defendant is not your daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jackson, you say Mr. Jackson is the only father you've ever known, and over the last 41 years, he has treated you like a second-class citizen. You say you have no doubt Mr. Jackson is your father, and you intend to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, how has this accusation ruined your life?
Your Honor, it has definitely ruined me financially wise, health wise, mental wise. It's at the point where I can't get driver's license, I can't get passport, I couldn't keep a job. It ruined my heart, Your Honor, to where I have a pacemaker in me now.
The stress of it.
The stress of it, it ruined my heart.
How long have you been paying support, sir?
I've been paying support since I was maybe 30, Your Honor. I started working for a private contractor. For 18 years, Your Honor, I did not know that I owed child support. And I get a job with a paycheck. It's when I find out I owe child support. Already at that time, I'm $13,000 behind.
In arrears.
Yes. So I could never catch up, Your Honor.
Because the penalties kept accruing. And now you're more than $25,000
Yes,
in
Your
debt.
Honor.
At 63 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jackson, you
Yes,
say you have
Your
no
Honor.
doubt this is your biological father.
I have no doubt that this is my biological father.
When were you made aware that he had these doubts?
I was always told by him as a young girl that he had doubts. He would basically just try to mention, things like, he didn't think that, he was the only man that my mom slept with. And
How old were you when he was saying this?
I was like 9 or 10 or 11 years old.
At 9 or 10, you were having to process that information?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, did you tell her that young that you thought her mom may have slept with somebody else?
I did tell her I had my doubts that her mom was young at that time and she was seeing more than one person.
So wait, you say you didn't find out you were on child support for 18 years,
Yes.
but you did have a relationship with Miss Jackson.
Speaking of her mother or
It
her?
wasn't the kind of relationship that most daughters would have with their father.
What kind of relationship was it?
I considered him as a homie.
A homie?
Yeah, as a homeboy. And because of that, he never treated me as if I was really his daughter.
Wait, I need to understand that. What do you mean as a homeboy?
Well, because I was never really embraced by Mr. Jackson as his daughter. I was always feeling like I was just someone there who he had a relationship with my mom, that I was just there.
What was the nature of the relationship with Miss Jackson's mother?
At the time I was married.
Oh, okay.
And I knew it was wrong, but I did it.
So what happened when she told you she was pregnant?
I told her it was not my child, Your Honor.
Did you say that because you didn't believe that was your child? Or did you say that because you knew you were married and you knew you were wrong?
At that time, I believed a little both, Your Honor.
Okay, that's honest. I want to know.
Yes.
So did your wife ever find out?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
And what happened then? Did it break up your family?
For a small period of time, it did, and we got back together.
Did you have visitation? Did you see her regularly?
For years, I really didn't know where they were, Your Honor.
That's not true. He knew where we were. Mr. Jackson, he chose to live the life that he chose to live. He knew where we were. We wasn't very far. I stayed in contact with his mother. I stayed in contact with my siblings.
How did you know, as a child, that he knew, Mr. Jackson, where you and your mother were?
Well, he's on my birth certificate first and foremost.
He is?
Yes, he's on my birth certificate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have that birth certificate here?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Jerome, can you hand me that? So, did you know you were on the birth certificate?
No,
Did you
I
sign
didn't. I never signed nothing, Your Honor. My signature is not on there.
So this is the birth certificate for Quanisha Jackson.
That's me.
And listed under father is your name, Charles Jackson.
My name is actually Charlie Jackson Jr., Your Honor.
So
Her
you're
mother
saying-
called me Charles.
But your name, your legal name is Charlie.
Charlie Jackson Jr., Your Honor.
So you're saying the fact that Charles is written here is indicative of the fact that the mother gave the name and not you.
The mother gave Charles, Your Honor.
So what you're saying is that you didn't sign this. You didn't tell someone I want my name listed.
I did not know the day that she was born.
And so you're saying when she was born, you didn't even know?
Not the day she was born, I did not know.
You never went to doctor's appointments. You never did any of that.
I never went to none of that, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Mr. Jackson, what other doubt do you have?
There was another man at the time that I was seeing her mom. I'm going to say just her mom was fast. That's the way I'm going to put it, Your Honor.
So you're going to say respectfully that you felt like her mom was promiscuous?
Yes, Your Honor.
My mom told me that he has been the only man that she slept with, and that's how it has been throughout their relationship. I
am not a bad person. I have love in my heart for kids. I have taken care of kids that's not even mine, Your Honor.
But why he never treated me like a daughter, since he has so much love in his heart? Why was I always treated like little trash off the street?
No, I've reached out to her at times and times, but she goes into a shell where she don't talk to nobody, she don't call nobody.
What about the time I asked Mr. Jackson when I was 9 or 10 years old? Him and my mother had came back together to live together, and we had ice cream trucks in the neighborhood. So one day I asked my Mr. Jackson if I could have 25 cents so that I could buy ice cream, and he told me he didn't have it. And I said, well, do you have 10 cents, 15 cents,
Quanisha.
a nickel? And he said that he didn't have either or. But I would see him go to the liquor store and buy alcohol or whatever he would, buy for himself, but he couldn't even give me 25 cents
That part is
to buy
not
an
true
ice
at all,
cream.
Your Honor.
And that stuck with me all my life. And he has no idea the damage that has caused upon my mental capacity to deal with that. And
Well,
to
you're
reason
here.
with that.
Tell him today.
That has caused some tremendous pain, some serious psychological issues in my life, to the point to where I've had issues with choosing functional men. I can't choose functional men because I don't know what that looks like.
If I've done anything to hurt you when you were small, I apologize. But I wish you had to let me know way before now and told me. But at the same time, Your Honor, we wasn't around each other for years. Had I have known, it would have been a lot better than this.
Because you don't even remember the moment.
No, I don't, Your
And it
Honor.
has stayed with her for over 20 years.
Yes, Your Honor. I just don't. I don't remember that.
So, Mr. Jackson, you don't believe she's your biological child. You just didn't believe it.
I
You
don't.
never knew for certain.
I don't, Your Honor.
And one of the things you talked about in your court papers is you believe there's a medical reason why. Because she did not have a certain trait
Of
or deal with
stuttering.
stuttering.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain that.
Most of my kids, all of them, as a matter of fact, when they get nervous or lying even, they'll stutter. She doesn't have that.
I want to learn more about this. The court has called upon an expert, Molly Dale. She's with the Chatterbox Speech and Language Clinic. Jerome, can you please escort Ms. Dale into the courtroom?
Your Honor, I've had issues with stuttering, but it's not severe. It's very mild, but I just psychologically choose to speak, in a way to where I won't have to stutter like that. But I've had issues with it before.
All right. Hello, Ms. Dale. We are here today, of course, attempting to help Ms. Jackson determine whether or not Mr. Jackson, a man she believes is her biological father, is in fact so. And during his testimony, he has talked about all of his children suffer from stuttering. Is stuttering an inherited trait?
Frequently it is. It has there's a strong genetic component with stuttering. About 60% of people who stutter have family members that stutter as well.
And then she talked about, in her testimony just recently, having to deal with a slight level of stuttering. Is the severity or lack thereof any indicator?
No, you can have someone in a family who is severely, profoundly a stutterer, and then you can also have someone that is a mild stutterer as well.
Now that you've heard this testimony, does it further your belief that this is in fact your biological father, or does it affect it in any way?
I feel that he's my father based on a lot of different characteristics that, you know, he and I show, like our eyes and our nose.
And Mr. Jackson, after hearing all of the testimony today, how do you feel?
I still don't believe I am her biological father.
All right. Mr. Jackson, you've brought a witness as well.
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
I'd like to hear from that witness. Jerome, can you please escort them into the courtroom? Hello, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is King David Gabriel Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, what relation are you to Mr. Jackson?
It's my stepdad.
This is your stepfather?
Yes.
And what testimony would you like to offer to this court today?
Well, as far as my dad, he's cool. And I know that growing up, it was hard for him to do what he wanted to do for us because he had no money. We still ate, we still had clothes and everything, and he never neglected none of us, none of his real biological kids or his stepkids. He treated us all the same.
Did he ever say, I may have another daughter, I have another daughter, and this is your sister?
Not really, no.
And so when you saw Ms. Jackson, who did you think she was?
More like a friend.
So you don't believe your father, Mr. Jackson, would have denied Ms. Jackson if he truly felt she was his biological daughter?
No, he wouldn't have.
Because you are not, in fact, his biological child.
No, I'm not.
But he raised you as his own.
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, why is it that she did not receive the same level of acceptance as your stepchildren did? Because she potentially could be your biological child.
No,
I feel like
did.
he
Yes,
should
Your
have
Honor.
gotten a DNA test a long time ago. From the time that Mr. Jackson and my mother conceived me, he has always felt that my mother slept with someone else and that it's a possibility I'm someone else's child.
Do you regret not having that DNA test, sir?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
What is that in your hand, Mr. Jackson?
This is, in my hand, Your Honor, is a letter I wrote
May I see
I
that?
wrote to the court to try to get help.
So you sent this letter to the court in your home state?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. It was 3 years ago, Your Honor.
And the letter reads, I don't have any amount that I can offer for compromise because I only get $1,352 a month. Child support takes $448 a month from my income, and I am 60 years old. I did not know I owed child support for 18 years. I am able to get unemployment in which child support takes a good part of it. I really hope I can get this case a solution. I'm not trying to get free money or anything like that. It seems like I'm never going to be able to take care of this. Please help. Signed, Charlie Jackson Jr. So you basically wrote this plea to
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
court in your home state
Yes, Your Honor.
because you felt like you had no opportunity to resolve this and you didn't know what to do.
True, Your Honor.
All right. Well, fortunately, you have submitted to a DNA test as ordered by this courtroom, and I have the results for you. Jerome, the envelope, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Jackson Jr. versus Jackson, when it comes to 41-year-old Quanisha Jackson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Jackson Jr., you are her father.
I'm so sorry. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I love you very much, and I'm very sorry. I hope from this day on, we can be a father and a daughter instead of your homeboy.
I've always knew that you were my dad, but I chose to be a friend to you so that I can help keep us connected some kind of way until you were ready to embrace me as your daughter.
Thank you, daughter.
You're welcome, and I do forgive you.
Thank you, daughter.
You're welcome.
That's why this courtroom is so important, and this is what I witness day after day. People confronting the dysfunction, confronting the confusion, and deciding today is the day we get the truth. Ms. Jackson, I couldn't get the homeboy thing. I really couldn't. I couldn't process it. But I get it now so clearly that you wanted to make it comfortable for him because you just didn't want to disconnect from him because you knew that was your father. That is remarkable. Because I might have cursed you out, Mr. Jackson. I'm not going to lie. I might have went on head up with you one day. Because you ain't no my homeboy. You and my daddy.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I want ice cream. Okay?
Yes, sure.
So now next time you hear ice cream truck, what you gonna do?
Run to it,
Right.
take her, and the grandkid.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
Yes.
Wish you the best of luck. Court is adjourned.
Thank you.